Hello everyone, Myth here and welcome to another video of Three Kingdom Epic Wars. So in the previous videos we went through Shu, Wei and Wu deck. So in today's video we're gonna go through how to build a Qun deck. So firstly, as usual, let's go to Gallery and let's filter Qun unit gold. Okay, so there are 19, well, except the wealthy merchant, there are 18 Qun gold units, and let's just go through them one by one. Okay, firstly, let's go through Lu Bu. He's actually currently in shop right now. You can buy him with real money. I know most of people probably won't buy him, but I know some people will buy. So let's go through the two types of deck I think Lu Bu excels in. So the first type of deck is gonna be Lu Bu plus some support. So what you want to run is you want to run Lu Bu as your main nuker, and you want to run a support in Dao Chan. So Dao Chan decreases the physical attack of enemy unit with the highest attack and increase the physical attack of the ally unit with the highest attack. Okay, so she's going to buff Lu Bu's damage and her passive charm. So CC a random unit every 4 seconds for 2 seconds. It's really good. Freeze has a chance for it's a passive damage, and also Vision reduce magic skill damage taken by 15% for entire team. Okay, so Lu Bu, one of his weakness is his intellect. You can see 4 to 4. He will receive a lot of magic damage. So Dao Chan help neglect some of it. So Dao Chan is your first support. Your second support is gonna be Hua Tuo. Okay, you see Hua Tuo has the same passive that reduces magic damage taken, and his skill is a chanting skill, which restores unit with the highest physical attacks HP. If HP is lower than 70%, and if it's higher than 70%, it will increase the physical attack instead. Okay, very strong. So you have Lu Bu, Dao Chan, and Hua Tuo, and you will have what you want to run. Let's see. You can run something like Ma Chao, because with this lineup you cannot reach the back line, right? So if you run Ma Chao, so you get him from arena, and we already went through his skill before. He charges back line, so it complements your Lu Bu. Okay, so that's 4 units. And last 5th units is flexible. If you want to save money, you can run Da Qiao. Okay, just add more attack to Lu Bu. And if you have a bit budget, if you have more budget and you want to run, you should run a full cavalry team with Lu Bu. So apart from him, you run Dong Zhuo. He's also in shop right now. It's really good because look, he increased physical attack of all allied Qun unit by 23% plus 100, plus gives a shield, and his passive also grants a shield. But what's so good about him is that is not the amount of buff he gives, but the cost of his skill. Okay, so if you look at his skill, it's a 1 moral cost, so it's a very low, and it's a AoE buff. Okay, so very good. Then another 2 units you want to run as support will be Zhang He and Zhang Liao. So with Zhang Liao and Zhang He, they both weight unit, they both buffers for cavalry. So with Zhang Liao, it's a 2 moral cost, very low as well. Physical attack of friendly cavalry unit increased by 32%. Okay, and every cavalry unit affected increased by additional 6%. So if you have 5 cavalries in your team, it's gonna be like 62%, right? And attack has a chance of commanding all allied cavalry deal extra damage. Okay, again, what's this one? That's a self damage, and that's a self damage. So basically his passive and his skill is really good with all cavalry, and also Zhang He as well. He gives a crit rate buff and crit damage buff for everyone, 2 morale cost, and all allied cavalry's critical chance against speed, critical damage increase of 15 seconds, from his passive as well. Okay, and he increased self damage. Very good, complementing Lu Bu, Zhang Liao, Zhang He. And the last person you want to run will be Ma Chao again to kill the mages, because Lu Bu cannot run rich backline himself. Okay, we actually haven't talked about Lu Bu's skill. Why he is so strong? His active skill increased self attack by 76% and defense by 60%. Only physical defense. It's a huge buff, and every 3 seconds recovers HP based on max HP. And the lower the target hero strength, the more damage it receives, up to a maximum increase of 200%. So he shreds tanks. Okay, of course kill mages, but he shreds tanks. And his second passive is actually his main damage skill. A long spear bursts forth from underground to attack the nearest enemy when getting a buff, dealing 36 times physical skill damage with an internal CD of 6 seconds. 36 times physical skill damage plus all the buff is a huge damage. Okay, I heard on Chinese server he does 500,000 with this passive. When it means whenever getting a buff. Okay, so if you have Hua Tuo's chant, every 6 seconds he does that much damage. Okay, very strong, and it's a passive as well. So that's basically Lu Bu's team. We went through Dong Zhuo, we went through Diao Chan. With Zhang Jiao, he's basically a weaker version of Zhuge Liang. Okay, so if you want to run him main, it's up to you. But another way is a lot of people on Chinese server run Zhang Jiao alongside Zhuge Liang. The reason is because his intellect is 1169. It's very high, and it's what they do is they make his intellect actually higher than Zhuge Liang through gears, right, and aids. That means if you face a Ma Chao team, Ma Chao's gonna rush him instead of Zhuge Liang, and so it keeps your Zhuge Liang alive to spam his lightning. And also Zhang Jiao's first passive deals 20 times lightning magic damage to all enemy unit when self HP falls low for the first time. So basically he's gonna explode and deal damage to everyone before he dies. Okay, so that also syncs really well with the Zhuge Liang team. And Wenchou and Yan Liang, they're quite similar. They all have like exact same passive skills, apart from the last one. Wenchou, they all sacrifice 15% self HP, so Wenchou increased physical attack by 60% and deal damage to one nearest unit. And Yan Liang, he does damage to everyone around him, right, and stun them for 2 seconds. From just the description, I feel Yan Liang is stronger, but I've never seen them in action. They might be decent choices if you want to run a twin deck, Spearmans especially. But I do not know what's their scaling like. Okay, and they also have golf speed skill. If they're cavalry allied units, then self speed increases the speed of the faster cavalry unit, and upon the first contact with the enemy unit, decrease the physical attack by 45%. It's very interesting because it runs well with Dong Zhuo. Dong Zhuo being a cavalry, and he buffs allied twin unit, so you can run either of them with Dong Zhuo. Okay. Zuo Ci is a very interesting unit because he summons Phantom. What's his passive? Okay. When killed, summon unit deal 12 times magic damage to nearby enemy. Okay. Every 6 seconds he summons a phantom unit. The phantom unit is very weak itself, right? But it helps if the enemy doesn't have someone rush backline, it helps delay the process of them rushing to your backline. But mainly people just run him as an aid at the moment. Okay. But if you want a fun unit, certainly you can pick him. Lady Lu, right now, she is a nuker. So summon 3 Ghost Blade, attack nearby enemy, deal damage, blah blah blah. It's a passive that deals more damage. When she has her 5-star card, the nearby enemy actually becomes deals damage and attack 3 furthest enemy. That makes him stronger because it gives her access to attack backline. But right now she's not that strong as a nuker. Okay. Zhurong, very strong unit by herself. You can run basically a support class around her and make her your main unit. Um, so she turns ground into Southern Barbarian territory and deals attack a nearest enemy unit and deal physical damage, increased by your physical attack. And look at this, reduce the target's healing effects by 90% for 15 seconds. 90% is huge. And her passive also deals damage and reduces healing passively. Okay, and she does more damage to male hero by 35%. That's a lot because most people, their front line are all male heroes, like Shu Spearman deck, right? I lost to a Zhurong that's like 40k power lower than me before. She does like 60k nuke with her passive on my Spearmans. So she's a very cheap option and a very good option to build a team around her. So basically something like Da Qiao, again Hua Tuo around her. Maybe even with a Zhou Yu and Xiao Qiao at the backline doing continuous damage. Okay, and also she's great to run with Zhuge Liang, especially with her future 5 stars card. Yan Baihu, he's a buffer to all Qun Spearmen and Qun Archer. So if you want to run like a mixed Qun Spearman Archer only deck, you can run him as a support. Okay. And Yuan Shao. Yuan Shao gives a 58% plus blah 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 physical attack buff to physical defense buff to all Qun Cavalry, and 29% attack buff to all Qun Spearmen. So if you want to run a mixed Spearman with Cavalry, you can run him. So something like Yuan Shao and you can run Yan Liang and Dong Zhuo, okay, and maybe 2 support, something like that. Meng Huo, his skill is a self heal, okay, and give the shield to Qun unit. So if he gets a heal debuff on him, he becomes really useless. I don't really recommend running him. Yuan Shu, his skill is full morale cost, which is quite high, but increased physical attack of all friendly units by 35%, and for every one unit from a different faction, physical increase by additional 3.5%. The 3.5%, I don't feel it's a very big boost, even if you run full factions, and it's I can't think of a deck that's useful and runs full faction, okay? So I'm not sure about Yuan Shu on this one. Cai Wenji, she's the early game healer. You get her for free from 7-Day Gala, so she can be your main healer for quite a while. So every 6 seconds she heals, and after each recovery, the amount healed decreased by 5% unless you start chanting again. Okay, so basically she just acts as a healer. Hua Tuo is one of the best single target physical attack support out there. We went through his skill already, so basically if you want to run a physical attack deck with a main nuker, you can run him as support. Zhang Xiu, he is a really rare card. I rarely see people pull him. That means his passive will be hard to upgrade unless you start buying him in the shops when they release him. Basically, he is a Spearman nuker as well. Attack the nearest enemy, dealing huge physical damage. Again, I'm not too sure about the damage scaling because I never see him being used. And if a target is debuffed, convert 35% damage to self HP. Okay, so if you have him and you want to run like a run him as your main nuker, feel free, and you can build a deck around him either with like Dong Zhuo, Yuan Shao, and or Yan Baihu as support based on what other team character you want to run alongside him. Jia Xu, 2 morale cost, inflicts a minus 35% physical attack debuff to the nearest enemy and other enemies around the target. So he is gonna debuff like a clustered. If the enemy clustered together, they're gonna get like a physical attack debuff. And if the enemy already has a debuff, then deal magic damage instead. The magic damage increase with the number of Qun ally unit. Again, I'm not sure about the scaling, but look at his passive. So basically eroding seeds to 2 enemy units with the highest P attack. The seed decreases the P attack every 3 seconds by 3.5%, last 60 seconds, okay? So it's a continuous debuff, and it goes well with his first skill. So if he lands his passive with a debuff first, his passive will not only debuff them, but also deal magic damage. It says after upgrade, if the enemy already has a debuff, then deal magic damage instead. So maybe if they already got debuff, he cannot inflict this debuff on them. Instead, he will do magic damage instead. Okay, so that's with Jiaxu. And Yu Ji is also another very interesting deck, and I think he is stronger than Zuo Ci. Okay, the reason, of course, it's a um two Morocco skill. He's not a chanting hero, so it's going to detonate 4 summon units and deal magic damage to an enemy unit with the lowest HP. So he's like a very good counter to Zuo Ci. But if there's no summon unit, then he's gonna summon 2 cavalry units to attack and knock back 2 further enemy unit. Lasts for 20 seconds. The good thing about that is it's gonna interrupt chanting units chant, so it's gonna it's quite effective actually. I met a Yuji deck before, and it's quite interesting to run. If you have him, feel free. And that's pretty much all the Qin unit we went through. Of course, the strongest Qin deck will be something around Lu Bu, okay? As he's the strongest Qin unit, and I've went through 2 possible deck combination with him, so that's pretty much all. So I have covered every single gold 4-star unit in my 4 videos. So in my next videos, I am going to do some other guide. Maybe I'll showcase some of my arena fights. So as you can see, I got Guan Ping yesterday, trying to upgrade him. And I am going to replace Guan Yu with Guan Suo when he comes. So maybe when I actually gather my team, I will showcase my arena. Not sure. We'll see how it goes. But I'll end the video here. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you find information useful. Please give me a subscribe and like if you do. And join our Discord channel, which I will link in the description below. Okay? Bye guys. See you in my next video.